Alright, hey guys, Joseph here, and I've recorded this now multiple times, but YouTube's video thing sucks ass, and I don't feel like doing it else on any other system because it takes hours to upload on this connection, whereas this will only take a little bit. So I'm just gonna give you a bit of a crash course on base running, because base running is something that we could definitely improve on. Last week we probably left maybe four runs on the bases that should have been runs, but we kind of screwed up the base running. So we're just gonna go through a few tips. Okay. Tip number one: you hit a ground ball in the infield when you're in the batter's box. You hit the ground ball and you run to first. You can run through the bag. Um, if you notice when you're running out to first that there's a line from home plate to first, as long as you stay once you hit the bag on the right side of the line, you could run as far as you want. You could run to Antarctica, and as long as you're on the right side of that line, you're fine. Um, so that's tip number one. Uh, that's if you hit a ball in the infield, and you're running to first. Now, if you hit a ball into the outfield, you're at first, or when you're in the batter's box and you hit a ball into the outfield, go left when you get to first. Take the turn as if you're going to go to second, and then once you hit the bag, start deciding if you're actually going to run to second or not. Now, the general rule of thumb that we're going to have, and that baseball has and everyone has, um, is that if the outfielder has the ball, if they've collected it in their glove, if they've already started throwing it in, once you make that turn towards second, you don't run to second. If you're going from first to second and you get to second, you don't go to third. You just stay at the bag. However, if the outfielder hasn't collected the ball, has not collected the ball, it's still rolling around in the outfield, and you get to whatever bag you're going to, whether it be first, second, third, doesn't matter. You go to the next bag, okay? And that's key. There were several instances last week where people were getting the bags and just stopping. They were just stopping at first. They were just stopping at second. And they could have walked to the next bag. Uh, that's the key. We are going to have that. Just keep that in your mind. When you get to a base, and the ball's in the outfield, and the outfielder has not collected the ball, go to the next bag. Now, what if you're at first and somebody hits a fly ball into the outfield? Well, that's the next tip, whatever. Tip number three. Uh, if the person batting hits a high fly ball into the outfield, uh, run halfway between first and second. Halfway. Why? Because that if he catches the ball, you can easily run back to first. If he drops the ball, or she, whoever the outfielder is, he or she drops the ball in the outfield, uh, then you can go to second. You're close. You're halfway in between both of them. So halfway between the bags. What if you're at second? Well, the way that we're gonna have it going is once you're at second base, be paying attention to the third base coach, whoever that is. We'll help you out. Be sure that you don't get lost on the base paths. For the most part, we'll probably keep you at second so that you can be sure to get to third after the guy catches it or girl catches it, or the guy or girl drops it. And we'll be sure that you at least get to third, if not home. Um, but the tricky part is when you're in between first and second. Um, Finally, if you're at third base and the ball is hit in the air and there's less than two outs, there is no reason at all the ball is hit into the air that you do not stay right on the third base bag and listen to the third base coach who's right next to you. He'll help you out if the dude, girl catches the ball out in the outfield. As soon as they catch it, you just take off, running to home, and you listen for the third base coach who's watching the ball, waiting for the outfielder to catch it, and then we'll tell you to go home. So that's big, and same thing with second, going to third. Just wait for the third base coach will tell you to go once the outfielder has caught the ball. or if they drop it, and you got, I mean, we'll also help you out with that too. The key, though, is first to second. There's no reason, particularly if you're running first to second, and the ball is a ground ball into the outfield, and if the outfielder has not collected the ball yet, when you're running to second, when you get to the bag at second, there's no reason you should not end up on third, because it will take an incredible throw from the outfielder that's both hard and accurate, which is really very difficult, especially in co-rec. You almost never see throws from the outfield that are accurate and and hard, so that they can actually gun you down. There's no reason, if you're getting to second and the ball is not been collected yet in the outfield, that you don't end up on third. And same from second to home. If you get to third, and I mean again, but this is the third base coach will be helping you out on this. If the outfielder hasn't collected the ball yet, there's no reason you should not end up at home. So those are a few tidbits. We'll be sure to work on it tomorrow night at the game. Listen to the third base coach. We'll be helping you out, trying to give you tidbits. But just remember that if you don't remember anything else from this obviously very informative video, remember that when you get to a bag, regardless of which bag it is, and the ball that is in the outfield, if the outfielder has not collected the ball, you should absolutely be running to the next bag. There's no reason that you should stop on a bag when the outfielder has not collected the ball yet. Just keep that in mind, and we'll go from there. So there you go. This is Joseph Kaufman. See you guys tomorrow night at the game, which I know I'm super excited about. Deuces!